Hey folks, we're here at South by Southwest with Chris Brogan, internet superstar. We'd like to say hi and introduce yourself and tell the folks at home what you do.
Hi Sunir, and hi everybody at home. I tend to be very passionate about using social media tools and showing companies and individuals how to use these tools to do something a little bit better than blog about what you ate for lunch.
Very cool. And what did you eat for lunch?
I didn't eat lunch, actually. I kind of got stuck doing a bunch of interviews.
I'm glad you didn't blog about that.
That's right.
That's our job. Another interesting thing you did is you started off PodCamp. Can you tell people what PodCamp is and podcasting and why it matters?
Sure. So Christopher Penn and I started PodCamp in September 2006. Well, a few months before that, we launched the first one in September 2006. And the idea was that there are these new tools that are free or inexpensive that are out there on the web to be used, and there's hardware costs have gone down so dramatically, bandwidth costs have gone down, so access is suddenly available for most, except for maybe really low money making citizens to go out and use these tools to say the story they want to say. And I paused and stuttered a moment because I'm thinking even libraries provide the stuff to do some of the podcasting tools these days. So we started PodCamp to start just bring open source information around how do you use audio, video, blogs, text, mobile blogging, microblogging. How do you use this all to tell a story, and how do you do this to build a relationship and empower a community? So I'm really excited about that kind of a thing, and I'm really passionate about that space. So Mr. Penn and I just launched one, and at the end of it we were so tired and miserable that we said, you know what, let's open source the idea and show everyone what we did and how we did it. We'll make a few rules on how we want it to continue on, and then that's it, everyone else go and do it themselves. There have been 39 of them or so at this point, and they're all over the world, and I'm really excited about that.
It's fantastic. I actually went to one recently in Toronto, and it was like a lot of fun. So, folks at home, if you see a PodCamp nearby, we'll send some links. You should check them out. So you find that podcasting is useful during your day job? Would you tell people what you do during the day?
Well, I work for an integrated events and media company, so I work with companies who are looking to talk about technology and education about the technology space. So that might be trade shows, that might be webinars, that might be online. And here's a kind of an example of that. So a typical webinar is you dial into a phone line, your listeners dial into a phone line, and you have a screen on the computer, and you flip a PowerPoint deck. And every now and again you get one up and somebody can maybe make a little bit of video inside the PowerPoint. I've had more people say to me that they're not interested in doing that kind of thing or buying that kind of a product, and they're saying, what are you doing in new media? What are you doing with video? What are you doing in that space? And so now, it's funny, what costs a low amount of money to get some word out on what your company is doing and sort of educating about a technology, if I double the cost and then do a lot of video production, then they want the product. They want to pay twice as much because they believe so much that the message is there. That's a commercial version of that. You asked me about my day job. On the other side of it, the power of video blogging and podcasting is getting your message out to more people. So again, when we're talking about where the future of the web is, it used to be we all watch TV, now TV watches us. It used to be that the conversation was one way and we got a message, and now younger people, at least in the US this number range is true, 67% of kids in the say 13 to 19 range are watching, 67% of the time they're watching media made by people they know. That's 2/3 of their time they're not watching a commercial media product. So they're watching each other's video, they're listening to each other's audio and reading each other's text.
That's interesting. And so your other thing that's interesting is you're also a FreshBooks customer, which is a side point. Have you found that if you have it on your side business, you find that all these social media things have helped you grow your side business?
So what's ended up happening is people are asking me more and more, is there a way that I can get involved, or I'm really interested in knowing some of what you know. I make as much information available as I can on my blog at chrisbrogan.com, but everyone wants something a little more custom, or a little more directed to their specific niche in business, and that's why people make money doing that sort of thing. Being able to use something like FreshBooks, I am an absolute virgin at being my own business. I have no sense of what I'm supposed to do, how I'm supposed to do it. So sort of even clicking through, I started to figure out, oh, I'm supposed to cover a business meal as an expense. I'm supposed to add this in as an expense. I'm focused on expenses right now for some reason because the revenues aren't exactly where the expenses are. But I would say that I think those kinds of tools, and especially a tool that you could start out free and it's not that much money to get it to a point where you can start using it even more robust, I think having tools like that at my hands make it a little more useful for me. And any kind of web tool I can ever use is better for me because I don't have to carry a laptop. I can just get to an internet space and see what I need to see. I like the fact that the more things of my information that land up in a cloud and that I can pull down from wherever I am, the better. So I think a tool like FreshBooks as one of the tools is something that allows me as a solo practitioner not to freak out that I don't have a finance team, etc.
Very cool. And so, like, have you found anything else that helps to transition into your side business and building these things and learning as you go along? Are there any other tools that you found helpful or resources?
So, I mean, for one, real basically, I think that you should always have a blog and start putting your conversation out there. So if you're passionate about some business you're going to have, write about it, talk about it, start making video about it, do audio, and get more conversational on other people's blogs whom you respect. To that point, people who are working for themselves, especially if they're in the internet space, have to be reading WebWorker Daily. WebWorkerDaily.com. I have no affiliation, love the site, think they're great. There's a lot of good applications out there, like using the Google Applications platform. Instead of buying Microsoft Office, which fine product, good company, if you are not yet ready to pay for the licenses for Microsoft, and we should do things legally, start with Google Apps and get yourself to the point where you maybe can advance and move into an Office. So I think there's a lot more free things out there. 37signals.com makes a lot of free applications built on the Ruby on Rails technology. I think that it's almost to the point that there's a big flurry of technology out there that can help people, enable them to do some of the business back end that used to be so hard. For managing your phone lines, you could do through something like Grand Central. So there's just a lot of tools now to augment a solo practitioner. And it used to be you were supposed to say we, and it used to be you were supposed to be faking that you had a big team, but now it's almost kind of chic to be your own person.
Very cool. Is that what you want to be? You want to be on your own?
You know, I think that's the next evolution for me. I really like working with good people and good companies, but I feel like I want to have the opportunity to take advantage of experiences where someone is the right fit for doing work with me. And as an employee of a company, a single company, that makes it a little more difficult. So I think we're shifting to a place where no longer are we samurai, now we're Ronin, and we have sort of a leaderless fashion of where we're going. And that to me is the next. And it's been going for a while. Freelance work has been going on for a long while, but I think that it's finally at a point, especially in the web work and knowledge work and doing some of this sort of stuff, that we can take that step now and move it forward.
Very cool. Thank you very much, Chris Brogan.
Thanks, Senor. I appreciate it.